Hi there and welcome. I'm Barry Fry from Guitar STW, home of the Pentatonic Scale Training Wheel app. Now, I really didn't know too much about this scale until I purchased a course from Griff Hamlin. The name of the course is Blues Guitar Unleashed. And in addition to taking that course, I also take advantage of the YouTube videos that Griff provides. And on one of those videos, he had suggested that he said you should be able to play that scale from any note, any string, up or down. And he has suggested as a way to learn how to do that is to use flashcards. Well, I started to think about that. You have 7 keys, A through G, and major and minor. That's 14. You have 5 positions of the scale, 6 strings on the guitar, and 2 notes per string. So when you multiply that all together, it's a shed load of flashcards. So that's what led me to this this app. But like I said, in addition to the courses that Griff provides, he also provides a lot of information for guitar players on YouTube. So I highly recommend you take advantage, have a look at his offerings. But let's get back to the app. Now, as you can tell, this is not being shown on a smartphone because it wouldn't translate very well to a video. So I'm using an emulator on my PC. But as you can see, we have one box here for key, another box for the position, one for string, and also one for note. And then these down here I will explain as we get into the video, or I'm sorry, into the demonstration. So how does it work? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to click on next note. And what comes up is the D minor key, and it's telling us to play the first note on the second string in position 4 of the minor. So first note, second string, and if we don't know what the position looks like, we can click on the position button here. First note, second string. It's going to be right over here. Well, I also like to find out where is my closest root note, my anchor or my pivot point. So where do I find my root note on the third string? So if I'm looking for a D on the third string, where do I find the root D on the third string? If I look on the third string, it's all the way up here on the 7th fret. So that's where my anchor is. So what did it tell us to play? It told us to play the first note on the second string. First note on the second string. First note on the second string. So it's going to be over to the second string, obviously, and down a half step. So what does that look like? So if I'm looking for my D on the third string, it's right here on the 7th. So my starting note would be the F. So I would play that scale up and down from that F, and then making note that that's where the F is located. Alright, let's have a look at another. Now we're in the C major, third position of C major, and it wants us to play the first note on the 6th string. Now obviously we're only going to be able to play up from there, so what does that position look like? First note, 6th string. Right here it is. So my closest root is over on the 5th. So where would I find my root note on the 5th string? Let's have a look at the cheat sheet. Where do I find my root note on the 5th string? Well, we could play it here. We could try to play it here, but then we could also play it up on the 15th. I kind of like to play where the frets are closest together. So we're playing the first note on the 6th string, so my root is over here on the 15th fret. So what was it telling us? First note on the 6th string, so we're over to the 6th and down a step and a half. So down a step and a half from the root, all right, down a step and a half. Turns out that our starting note is going to be an E, so we would play that scale up from that E. Okay. Alright, let's have a look at one more. Alright, position 5 of the E minor scale, first note 5th string. So first note 5th string, what does that position look like? First note 5th string, well, we're over here. We're actually down a whole step and over from our root note. So if we were to try to find where our root note is on the 6th string, where is our root note on the 6th string? Well, we don't really have to look there. We know it's an open string, but I would recommend that we would consider our root note over on the 12th fret. So if we're playing the first string on the first note on the 5th string. Okay, so it's going to be down a whole step and over. All right, let's have a look at what that note would be. Going to be a G. So we would play that scale up and down from that point. Wouldn't go too far. Anytime your starting note is on the 5th or the 6th string or 2nd or 1st, you don't have too much in the way of going the opposite direction. So that's a quick look at how you use the app. Now, most people start out with the A minor position 1, and you know, the one thing you could consider doing is ignore what's in key and position, and just play what's shown on in the note and the string. And then when you're comfortable with that position 1, learning what those notes are called and where they're located, then move on to position 2, 3, up to 5, and then maybe go to the major. But how you use it is entirely up to you. But I think the real benefit of using this app is it helps you learn where the individual notes are all along the guitar fretboard. It's important to know when you look at the guitar where those notes are. On a piano, it's kind of easy. You know where C is because it's going to be right beside those two little black keys. But on a guitar, it's a little bit different. So, you know, when you have to eat an elephant, you can't eat it all at once. You have to eat it one bite at a time. So that's my advice here: is just take your time with this app and be patient with yourself. And you can use this at the beginning or at the end or wherever of your practice routine, your rehearsal routine. So again, I'm Barry Fry from Guitar STW, home of the Pentatonic Scale Training Wheel app. All right, and thank you very much.